Okay. Now, unfortunately, can you see that screen at all? Oh, good, lovely. All right. Thank you for coming. This will again be streamed live. I'm just trying to get myself in shot. So if you miss anything, feel free to go to my website. The handout will be on that site as well, so that you can download it with all the links. So feel free to grab those off there. Now, as you know, obviously, I am a published author. My publishers are Writers Exchange. I also work through Create Space, so I'll be telling you about them. So, getting yourself published, we'll be talking about actually writing the books, and then the difference between self-publishing and working through publishers. And of course, my clicky thing only works when I hold my tongue. Alright, it's well known that everyone has at least one good book in them. Yeah, whether that's fiction or non-fiction or a mixture of both. My fourth book is actually semi-autobiographical, so I've taken funny things from my own life and written them up with a fair amount of tongue-in-cheek. So if you visit the site on my Facebook page for Can You Smell Burning, you'll notice my father has written on there that anything about him is purely coincidental and nothing whatsoever to do with the truth. So feel free to write what you know. Does it have to be brilliant? Does it have to be literature? No. Does it have to be something that you enjoy? Yes. So that's all that matters. If you enjoy it, face it, there's billions of people out there in the world. Someone else is going to like it too. Just get it out there, see what happens. How do you get a book written? Unfortunately, there's no real easy way. The only way to get a book written is to write. Sounds really annoying, but there's no fast way. Working with others is really good if you can. I am so jealous of you two. But working in a group, just flicking it around. I work online quite frequently, and I'll show you a group that works with that as well. So, getting others to work with you. Locally, the ABC has both a writing forum for fiction, non-fiction and poetry, and for photography. So if you would like to get your stuff out there, just flash fiction or something like that, or just a chapter and see whether or not anyone else likes it, feel free to post it to the ABC, and they love the idea. And lots of other people can have a look at it then, yeah, and get to know it. More to the point, if you're posting to there, you will meet lots of friends who are also authors and who you can have fun with and just gas bag with. Now, they might be local here in Mount Isa, and there are quite a lot of local authors here in Mount Isa. There was a writing group out of here in the library, so feel free to join in with them. Or just contact people. I've been known to be shouted a cup of hot chocolate and batter on for hours about writing. The next one is Write No More. Now, you might have heard me talk about that in my speech when I was doing the book launch. November National Writing Month is actually an international group now, but they kept the national because it made it a cute little mnemonic. They get together every November and write 50,000 words. Yeah, and it sounds a lot. It's 1,333 words a day for the month of November. Now, it sounds hideous, but it's not that bad. And what I used to do is every night I'd get home from work, I would sit in front of the computer for an hour or so. I would spend 5-6 minutes reading the stuff that my mates had written, or just, they've got a lot of motivational stuff for writers and things on there, and they even have things on snacks that you can eat while you're writing, and how to turn off your Facebook, and all sorts of stuff. And sometimes it's just good to know that someone else is out there suffering through the writing process just like you. Yeah, so they're a really good group. Now there is a local Australian group, who were on the previous page, and the Queensland Writers Centre. Now they have an online writing challenge about once a week, and again you can just pop online and write with your mates, even though your mates in my case happen to be in Brisbane, Sunshine Coast, Melbourne and Hobart I think is at the moment, somewhere in Tasmania anyway. So you don't have to have them sitting there with you. Though now we've got the library with this wonderful area, I think it's definitely a spot that I would come if I wanted to write with a bunch of other people. Yep. Where to write? Everywhere. Do you have to be in front of your computer or typewriter? No. Pen and paper in your bag. I was going to say purse, but there's a gentleman in the audience. Recording it onto your phone and typing it up later. Typing it into your tablet. You'll notice I've got my tablet. Most phones will allow you to type. The good thing about those is that it's an itty-bitty screen, which means you can't edit as you go. You can only type. Editing as you write is a bad, naughty thing to do. And we all do it. So just write. It doesn't matter if it's absolute rubbish. It doesn't matter if you write a full page of I am a fish. Just get you into the habit of putting your fingers to the keyboard or your hand to the pen and paper and going for it. It's called challenge writing or timed writing, and a lot of professional writers do it all the time. So that's just getting yourself there and making yourself write every day or every weekend or whatever for a certain amount of time. There are quite a few programs out there that have timers on them, or that will challenge you and say, right, you've got to write 1,000 words, or 100 words, or 10 words, whatever the hell you feel comfortable with, and then it will it'll ring a little alarm, or it will go, yay, when you hit your quota. And they are brilliant motivators. I've used those a lot. Because you just, when you get to your 1,333rd word of the day and it goes, ta-da, and you go, yeah! So it's quite good. Alright, so programs and apps. That link there, dailywritingtips.com, not only does it give you a lot of good writing tips, but it has a list of all of the writing apps that are available, quite a few of which are free. So there's StoryMind, there's ZenWriter, there's a whole bunch of them. ZenWriter's the one I was talking about with the timing. Quite a lot of them have also got little music that plays in the background. So if you're like me and quite an oral person and you need something in the background so not distract you, every time the kids say, sorry darling. So you can set that music going and it helps. It really does help. Alright, self-publishing. First of all, you've got to work out, do I want to do print or do I want to do an ebook? Or do I want to do both? There is no nothing wrong with doing both. There's nothing wrong with doing an ebook first because, face it doesn't cost anything. And then if people like it, then go print. Up to you. Some books actually work better as ebooks. My mother-in-law has published 48 books as of 6 months ago. She actually has made 2 of her books purposely on CD because they're encyclopedias and she's constantly updating them. So she sells them the CD of the basic book, and then she will email them anytime she does an update. So for her, they actually worked better as an electronic resource than a hard copy book, and she had done it as both. And her readers have told her, almost to a person, and they're doll books, so most of her readers are in their 50s and older, did prefer it to be electronic. Okay? But it's your personal preference. I'm a bit of a hippie, so I like it to be e-books, plus I own an e-reader and all that sort of stuff, so I like them personally for myself, so I released mine first of all as e-books. Plus the fact that I can release a book for $5, $6, I still get the same amount of money, but it doesn't cost me anything. Whereas when you've got hardcovers, of course, you've got to pay for the print. But still, hard copy book, and you can sign it and you can fold it, and yeah. So it's up to you. Who can you publish through if you're a self-publisher? There are literally thousands of self-publishers out there. Watch it though. Read the contract. If they're asking you for money up front, anything more than just what the books themselves cost, steer clear. They are rip-off merchants. Don't do it. Go to the Queensland Writers Centre and check the ones that make sense for you and that they say are legitimate, because there are a lot of cowboys and a lot of dodgies out there. Now, I'm not saying that those with a marketing plan are a bad idea. That's fine if you know what you're getting for your money, but be careful. The one that I recommend is Create Space, and the reason why I recommend it, they have writing tools, they have editing tools, they have cover making tools. They give you royalties direct from your books, and they publish through Amazons, who are, face it, the biggest booksellers in the world at the moment. Okay, so it doesn't matter. They do a lot. So they have all of the various author, editing, publishing services all in the one hit. And my publishers actually use them themselves as well, because it's just so much easier than freaking around with it. Unfortunately, the bad thing about it, at the moment, they're an American company, so it does cost you about $50 to $80 to get 30 books out from there to here. Having said that, it costs for me roughly about $5 a book, so even with that, I'm still way ahead. Yeah. So, yeah, horses for courses. They are opening something in Australia very soon. They've been telling us very soon for about 6 months. Yeah. So, yeah. Government speak. The 7 steps for if you are self-publishing. 1, edit. 2, edit. Actually, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 should be edit. I went through 7 drafts of my book before I self-published, and then myself and my publisher went through another 4 drafts before we were happy with it. I have actually done 2 more drafts since then. Okay, so editing is good. Not in the writing process, but once it's finished and you're ready to go, edit. If you don't cut at least 30% of your beloved book during the editing process, you're not doing it right. Sounds harsh, and you love every word, but cut. Save your novel in the right format. So if you're sending it to a printer, they will tell you what format they want. If you're going to sell it as an ebook, I strongly recommend the use of Calibre. Free program, download it off the interweb, and it will save it as any sodding format you want. It's gorgeous. So you write it up in Word or just OpenWrite or any of the rich text format, any of those formats, and it will change it to just about anything else. So what should we use? EPUB is probably the most common one out there for everything bar iBooks, the iStore, and for them it's Mobi, both of which Calibre can do. Alright, but it also does Microsoft Reader, which a lot of the Windows-based tablets use, and it does a lot of the others. It also does self-executing books, which are quite good. They're the ones with the pretty covers and the pages roll back and all that fancy stuff. Get yourself a website. How much do they cost? Well, there's plenty of free ones out there. There's nothing wrong with that. But a domain name will cost you anywhere between $45 a year up, depending on how big you want it to be. And for 45 bucks for a name that people can just type in something easy, it's worth it. Who do I go through? Hosting Bay. They're Australian, they work. I've never yet known them to be down, and as I say, they were 45 bucks a year. So you can't go too far wrong. Then work out a way to get book to the reader. You can flog them on Facebook. You can flog them on eBay. You can flog them on Amazon. You can sell them off your own website. You can put them on a floppy disk and post them out. You can do whatever the heck you want. Yeah? There are actually people in town that will sell you USB sticks with your cover art and whatever on the USB stick and preload your book on there, and you can post it out that way. It's a bit expensive. They're about $35 or something, but the more of them you buy, the cheaper it gets. But still, it's a bit expensive. But whatever floats your boat. Set up a payment method. PayPal is your friend. If you're not accepting credit cards, it's free. Direct straight into your bank account is also good. It's free. You just give them your BSB number and your account number, and they transfer the money across. Hey, you can do it on your phone. It's lovely. It's free. If you do on credit card, it's about between 3 to 5% of the costs. So, up to you. I'm cheap. Then promote your book. How do you do that? Book launch. Websites, emails, tell all your friends, tell complete strangers who are in the street. Walk around with it. Accidentally leave it in the doctor's office and the dentists and hairdressers and say, oh, is that my book I left here? Has anyone been reading it? I see they have. I might accidentally leave the next one here for you. And subtle things like that. There are 101 ways to promote your book. If you get it into the library, people say, oh, but then they borrow it from free. Yeah, but you get royalties. So every time somebody borrows it out of the library, you do get money. Not a lot, but you do. And it's there forever. So my mother's royalty checks my mother-in-law's royalty checks start getting quite good now that she's got so many books out there and they're all in the libraries all over the world. So it starts becoming worth it. Yeah, you can't see that, but it's basically Facebook. Facebook gives you a whole lot of stats, so it'll tell you who's doing it, where they're doing it from, how many people have seen your book, how many people have read the post, how many people then went to the store and bought it. It'll give you the click-through rate. It will give you whether or not you're getting money from other advertisers on your site. It gives you the lot, and those magic words, it's free! So this is good. Is it difficult to set up? No. Yes, I admit I am a computer teacher, but it took me 2 minutes. Someone who has absolutely no clue what they're doing, 10, 15 maybe? Or you call me and I'll set it up for you. I cost $40 an hour. Publishers. If you want to publish, now I was in the very strange and unrealistic position that the publishers actually contacted me and said, hi, I have read your book, I would like to publish it. How often does that happen? Never. All right? How the hell it happened to me, I have no idea. But I think it's just because she was a local Australian publisher who was getting on her feet and wanted to get it going. And vampire books were big at the time. But, to be honest, your most likely ones is to go around who you would like to be published with and look at their submission pages, and they will always have on there whether or not they're accepting books and what are the rules. Do not send your book without reading the rules, because I can tell you now they get upwards of 200 manuscripts a week, a day for the big ones. If yours isn't double type spaced in the proper thingy, they won't even look, they will turf. Alright? If you've got that many, will they bother reading yours if it's not set up the way they want? No. Yep. Alright, the most likely way though to get yourself published, if you are going to a publisher, is to use a literary agent. How do I get a literary agent? You go to the Queensland Writers Centre and you look up the 6 or 7 pages of literary agents and you pick the one that does your genre. And you would write away to them, you would give them a sample chapter and say, this is the sort of stuff that I write, would you be willing to take me on? And they will say yes, no, whatever. No, but I will if you do this. Yeah? So that's, if you're wanting to be published through one of the bigger publishing places, literary agents are your friends. Most big publishing houses will not accept a submission unless it is through a literary agent. The vast majority won't. Alright, so that's pretty much my spiel, I think, from memory. Yes? So, were there any questions or any part of that you thought, I didn't hear what the hell she said, or what did she mean? Yes? It is very legal for children to write books. You have the same copyright as an adult. However, you are not allowed to sign a contract without your parents' or guardian's permission. Right, so they have to sign a contract, but by all means you can write. If you want to write though, as a child, I would go to Write for Fun. They're a free competition that's held in Australia through the schools, and they publish the books, but they give you quite good feedback as well on your writing. So, at your age, competitions are your friend. Yeah, actually at anybody's age, competitions are your friend, but definitely at your age. So, Write for Fun. You can grab my email if you like, and I'll flick you the link if... Yeah. Anything else? No? Yeah. It depends on the literary agent, but if they're asking for huge things up front, avoiding that because it will be their body. Normally they would get a royalty. It's sort of like cover artists, but they would get a percentage. Yeah. Oh, which is one thing I didn't put in there, a format that isn't audio books are also a huge market nowadays. And again, most audio voiceover artists that do the audio books will take a percentage of the commission. Yeah. Some you pay up front, and then everything is yours, up to you. The one that I'm using, Kevin Powell, he prefers it to be up front because he's a quite well-known established voiceover artist. He's doing it royalties for me because I'm his mate and I told him I'd dob in his wife if he did. But, yeah. Can you self-publish an audio book? Yes. I tried to do it and it was dodgy as heck. So it's better to use a professional. Yeah. Anything else? No? As I said, this will be streaming. Sorry guys, I keep forgetting your end. I will be streaming this live off my website. Feel free to go and visit. Email me for any questions. I am open to bribes if you want to just sit and chat. That's cool too. If you want to form a writing group, I'm also open to that if you want to. That's fine. Okay, thank you so much for listening and I appreciate your attention.